The Cannabis Show is for information only. Nothing contained in the show is intended to constitute professional advice for medical diagnosis or treatment. We do not claim this information to be complete or exhaustive or to be applicable to any particular individual's medical condition. You should always consult with a qualified and licensed physician or other medical care provider.
Hi, and welcome to the Cannabis Show. On this episode, we are going to do a strain explorer into Grand Daddy Purps. Also, very important, vaping boiling points so you can get the most out of your cannabis. Stick around. Hello and welcome to Terp Talk. I'm Chris with our bud genius, Basil. And how many terpenes are there?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. And exactly what do they do?
They cause the effects that we're looking for in our cannabis, and they're also responsible for the flavors and scents.
So when you say the effects, if a patient comes in, they got a certain ailment about something, that certain terpene could really help them out.
That's right, and I should specify, our cannabinoids are responsible for a lot of the effects that we're looking for, but our terpenes are also responsible.
So with these terpenes or cannabinoids, and this is really important, especially for people who vape, but to get the full effect, you got different boiling points. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
That's right, and with our cannabinoids, we haven't been researching them as much for as long, so we aren't as sure about boiling points there, but our terpenes have been around for so long. They're in a lot of the essential oils that we've been using forever. They're in the plants that people have been using forever, so we know a lot more about those boiling points. And that's the important information for us to know, is because when we're trying to vaporize and we have the ability to pick specific temperatures, being able to know what our boiling points are is really going to help us pick out certain terpenes.
So for an effect, what are the ranges of a boiling point and like temperatures? Let's talk about temperatures and vapes, and how does the boiling point, how much does it differ? Like, are we talking like hundreds of degrees Fahrenheit or?
That's right. I usually like to talk in Fahrenheit. Our terpenes are going to start to boil off at temperatures right around the high 200s and the low 300s degrees Fahrenheit. That's when they start to boil. Our terpenes, they're going to start to boil more effectively and efficiently at slightly higher temperatures.
Now, can you overcook them?
You can absolutely overcook your cannabis, and that's when you start to get into combustion. But as long as we're keeping it below 500 degrees, we should be safe in that vaporization range.
So really, it's important when you find out what kind of terpene and what kind of strain of cannabis really helps for you to really, not only that, also find out that boiling point. And I'm sure a bud genius can offer that help.
That's right. There's lots of resources out there on the internet, but our bud geniuses are fluent in cannabis strains as well as terpenes and effects and things like that. Yeah.
And and also there's for further reading, you can check out the website naturalhealthservices.ca, and they can help you out with boiling points as well. Thanks, Basil. That's it for Terp Talk for today, and stick around for upcoming shows. We'll talk about actual individual terpenes. Do you want to be on the Cannabis Show? Have you had success with medical cannabis? We want to hear from you. We're looking for patients to come on the show and share their story. If that's you, please email the Cannabis Show at naturalhealthservices.ca. You often hear that cannabis can affect your mental capacity. Today on Cannabis 101, we're going to put Basil and Hart to the test. First, they will answer 4 cannabis-related questions, then they will medicate. Hart will medicate with an Indica and Basil with a Sativa. Once you're medicated, we'll ask you 4 more questions and see who wins. If you know the answer, raise your hand. You must answer the answer in the form of a question, and you will be timed. Hart, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Basil, are you ready?
Let's do this.
All right, here we go. Remember, raise your hand first, and then I'll call out your name, and we'll go from there. Found in immune cells, these are responsible for the anti-inflammatory effects of cannabis. Hart?
CBDs.
What in a question form? Basil?
What is a CB2 receptor?
Yes, correct. It is 1-0 Basil. The primary active ingredient in cannabis, giving its narcotic and psychoactive effects.
What is THC?
That is correct. It's 1-1. All right. Neil Young once said that this ingredient can help with over-medicating or the feeling of too high. Hart?
What is black pepper and or caryophyllene, the terpene?
Look at you go. That's like almost a bonus answer there. 2-1 for Hart. The secondary non-psychoactive ingredient in cannabis.
What is CBD?
Yes, correct. It's 2-2. All right, so that is your first 4 questions. You guys are going to go outside and medicate and come on back, and we'll see how smart you are after that.
All right.
Okay, and we're back. Now, let's see how you guys' mental capacity has changed after you medicated. Hart, what did you medicate with?
I used a strain called Iran Al-Mag from MedRelief. It's a pretty heavy indica.
Excellent. Basil?
I used Holio from MedRelief. It's their Blue Dream.
All right, you guys hungry?
I'm doing okay.
Answer the question. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. A strain that is more energizing and stimulating. Basil.
What is a sativa?
That's correct. They are present in many areas of the brain and play a role in memory, mood, sleep, appetite, and pain sensation. Basil.
What is a CB1 receptor?
Wow, you're getting really good at this. Are you doing okay down there, Hart?
Yeah.
The effects, the indica getting to you? Want a nap? Okay, here we go. 2 more questions. Let's see if you can make a comeback. This terpene burns at 168 degrees Fahrenheit and is also found in mangoes. Basil.
What is myrcene?
Yeah, 3-0.
He's just taller than I am. That's why you see his hand first.
So much for that passive cannabis. Okay, here we go. Last question. And you know what? We'll just say it's a tie just to make it fun. A type of strain that is more sedating and relaxing. Basil had his hand up.
What is an indica?
That's correct. Basil, I think in all fairness,
Fix is
won that.
in,
So
I'm
congratulations,
telling
Basil. So clearly, as you can see with these two, that sativa seems to be better for the mental capacity part. Congratulations, Basil. Now, we're no scientists, but we'll continue to explore the effects of cannabis.
There's a version of THC with many medical benefits and none of the psychoactivation effects. It's called THCA. It's basically raw, non-activated THC. The BC licensed producer Emerald Health Botanicals carries the oil, which is known to be anti-proliferative, meaning it can stop some cancers in their tracks.
Respect the Grand Daddy Purps. Also known as a GDP, this tasty strain can sneak up on you as you melt into your favorite chair. The Grand Daddy Purps came about back in 2003 in the Golden State by its creator, Ken Estes. Estes mixed purple Urkel, known for its great flavor, and its sleepy effect with Big Bud, also known for its relaxing effects. Did you know Big Bud is also a survivor of the war on drugs saga in the US back in the 80s? The Netherlands came to the rescue. But that's a story for another day. Grand Daddy Purps will also make you feel euphoric, happy, and hungry. Now, if you can just get off the couch to grab another plate of food. It's a stress reliever, muscle relaxant, and great for yoga class.
Grand Daddy Purps.
Yeah, man, the GDP. We actually got a bit of a connection to this strain.
Yeah, actually, from what we've heard, how it kind of came to be, there's a bit of folklore with this one. There's a guy named Ken Estes, and he was doing some work for some of the Native American people up in, I guess it would be California, and they had invited him to come down for some ceremonies and things like that because of the work that he'd done for them, and they handed him a strain that he'd never had before. And of course, the first question that he asked is like, how can I get some of this? Yeah, totally. But from what I understand, it took a little bit of negotiating, but he ended up getting a little cut or some seeds or something. And that's the actual true story of Grand Daddy Purps,
Totally.
from what I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of effects, like couch melter, it's a serious,
Stress
like
melter.
heavy hitting indica,
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Definitely. Also, in terms of smell, let's talk about like that grape kind of almost purple smell. Like if a color could smell,
You know, I was gonna
and
say, I
purple
think-
is a smell. That's
I think
what
a
it
lot of
smells like.
people might think that all purples are, you know, Grand Daddy Purps. Not true.
Oh,
The
no.
GDP is something in its own. It's a strong one.
Absolutely. Like this is one that is great for relaxation. Like I like to use it just before I go to a yoga class. Really excellent to help me just focus, but as well as just like great for the body.
Yeah, Grand Daddy Purps.
Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to You Can Ask Us Anything. And that's why we have our Bud Geniuses here. We have Basil and Hart. And they're here to answer your questions. I'm going to ask the question. And this question, guys, is from David. And he said, there's so much information out there, and I'm really confused. I just got my prescription a few months ago. How do I know what strain to use?
Hey, David, great question. And that's a question that I think a lot of people are asking. You know, the easiest, this is going to be a personal journey for everyone. There are so many different strains out there, so many different unique effect profiles. My recommendation, the best place to start is to know that most sativas have a common profile, a common terpene profile, common cannabinoid profile. So they're going to have a common effect profile. If you're looking for daytime type effects, you're looking for some focus due to attention type disorders, that kind of thing, go after the sativas. And on the flip side, the indicas or the indicouch, a little bit more relaxing, sedating, they're commonly that way. So you might want to lean that way.
Yeah, and I would just add to that, like, it's a journey for you. So you may want to chart where you're going. So, if you try one strain, write down the effects. Keep track of that. Keep a journal on how that's going. The other thing I will mention is you can always come down to Natural Health Services. We have a free education night every Wednesday. For more information on that, you should check out our website.
Yeah, and always talk to your bud geniuses. That website is naturalhealthservices.ca. If you have a question that you would like our bud geniuses to answer, you can email us or you can tweet it at NatHealthServe.